Have you ever been in a meeting and the group is just pounding their collective head against the wall of a problem, trying to come up with rules to keep bad things from happening or to optimize a process? Stay tuned to learn my favorite question to get things moving.
Distinctions for Life, helping you get what you really want in life with small changes that make a big difference.
Welcome to Distinctions for Life, where I help you get what you really want in life with small changes that make a big difference. I'm your host, Ron Davis. If you'd like more advice, visit my website at distinctionsforlife.tv. What problem are you trying to solve? This is probably the question I ask most of my proteges and anyone I'm working on a project with. It is especially useful for entrepreneurs. Now, I don't mean the what problem is your business trying to solve or what pain are you trying to alleviate. That is a core question every business has to answer and understand at a foundational level. But it generally gets answered in the startup process and you don't need to be constantly asking it. What problem are you trying to solve does need to be asked a lot. We get caught up in doing what we should do, or what everyone in our industry does, or what we think will get what we want. But often we are putting the cart before the horse and galloping off in the wrong direction. Let me give you an example. When I first met one of my proteges, her biggest pain point was going to coffee shops and trying to get people to start working at her co-working space. What should she say? How should she do it? Should she just pass out her card? So I asked, what problem are you trying to solve by doing that? Well, I want to get new customers, she answered. Why are you going to a coffee shop to get new customers? Because that's where I thought the kind of people who needed a co-working space would be. Okay, is that working? Is it true? No, she answered. So what are other ways that you could use to attract new customers? And then we figured out a number of different ways to try. The problem was new customers, not how to cold approach strangers at a coffee shop. Often we get so focused on a method and making that method better that we don't remember why we were using the method in the first place. You see this with rule making in business a lot. Businesses ask, what could go wrong? And then they make up rules to keep that thing from happening. For example, suppose that you have a printer that you let your customers print on for free. You ask, what could go wrong? Notice that's a question, they're everywhere. You might say, well, people could come in and print 100 pages and use up all of my ink and paper. And then you might make a rule that people have to get approval from you before they can print anything, just to make sure that they don't print too much. That's a valid concern, but my question would be, what problem are you trying to solve? You might say, people printing too much. Do your people print too much now? Huh? No. Then you don't actually have the problem, do you? Well, I could. Then why don't you solve that problem when you have it and not before? Asking, what problem are you trying to solve, not only gets back to the core of the problem, it also shows you if you really have a problem or not. Too often we try to solve problems, often at the cost of lots of time, money, and anguish that we don't actually have. My general rule of thumb is don't try and solve a problem till you actually experience it enough to understand the parameters of the problem. Say you notice a big print job going through your printer. You know it is more than you want people to use. Go talk to the person doing the printing. Find out what the deal is and talk to them about your side of it. On a small scale, this will probably solve the problem without a rule. But maybe it doesn't. Now you understand the actual problem and its scope. You can create protocols based on reality and not just on what you think will happen. Bonus distinction, actually talk to the person. Don't just have the conversation in your head, because you will probably make up the worst case scenario conversation. Also, don't email them or send them a text. Then you'll probably remove all the emotion and come across as accusing. That will create conflict in a way that a relational, curiosity-oriented conversation won't. Maybe they just need to print this one time. You mentioned it uses a lot of resources. Normal, nice people will try and fix it. They understand that unlimited free printing probably doesn't scale to printing a 500-page novel every day, and they will offer solutions. They'll offer to pay you something or to never do it again. Now that you have had a personal conversation, you can just let it go and see if it is a problem long term. And yes, there are people who will game the system, who will be unreasonable, but they are actually the exception and not the rule in most business. You just notice them more because they are a problem. And that is a perception problem. And I did a whole series on perception last season with an episode on this effect. Check it out if you want more information. The next time you are in a discussion that seems to be going round and round trying to make something work, ask the question, what problem are you trying to solve? It may open up new avenues or even tell you it isn't something that you need to be spending a lot of time on. Question of the day, what problem are you trying to solve? Leave a comment below and maybe I could help. If you have an issue that is just driving you crazy and would like my help, check out my mentoring program. I offer a free 30-minute session that will let you see what it is like and get you moving in the right direction. There's an application at the link below. Thanks for watching today. If you liked what you saw, give me a thumbs up. This channel is all about helping you get what you really want in life with small changes that make a big difference. Until next time, I'm Ron Davis. She wanted to know how to approach them without feeling horrible and weird, and what to say, and how she should do it. Huh? Then, don't just have to, boy, too much dialogue in this one. It's kind of weird. Been writing novelty too much. Okay, fart knuckles.